Welcome back to Rhythm Guitar Book 1. This is a free course designed to help get you started with chords, strumming, lead sheets, and rhythm charts. You can download this book for free from my website. I'll leave a link in the description. This lesson covers pages 7 and 8. We're going to go over some music reading basics, and I'll show you how to read a chord chart. Music is written on the music staff. That's these 5 horizontal lines. That marking at the beginning of the staff is called a treble clef. There are different types of clefs. Treble clef is for higher sounding instruments. There's also a bass clef for lower sounding instruments. Guitar, you're almost always going to see treble clef, so that's what you'll see in these books. And the measures are marked by these vertical lines called bar lines. So this is measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, and measure 4. And the end of the music is marked by a final bar line, which is made up of a thin line and a thick line. Let's talk about rhythms now. These are quarter notes, and a quarter note has a stem and a note head that's filled in, and that stem can point up or down, doesn't really matter. A quarter note lasts for 1 beat. So if this is our beat, tick, 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 and I want to play quarter notes. I play with that beat. And for every type of rhythm, like a quarter note, there's a corresponding rest or silence. So if a quarter note is 1 beat of playing, this quarter rest is 1 beat of silence. A time signature tells you how many beats are in a measure. And the top number of a time signature tells you how many beats are in the measure. The bottom number tells you what kind of note gets the beat. And that 4 at the top, of course, means that 4 beats in a measure. That 4 at the bottom stands for a quarter note. So if you see what's called 4/4 time, and that's how you say the top number, then the bottom number. If you see 4/4 time, you're going to see 4 quarter notes per measure, or 4 beats per measure. If you see 3/4 time, it's going to be 3 beats per measure, with a quarter note getting the beat. And if it's 2/4 time, of course, it's going to be 2 beats per measure, with a quarter note getting the beat. And we're going to put all this information to use when we start playing some rhythm charts in the next video. Next, you'll need to know how to read a chord diagram. So here's a chord diagram. It's shown as if you're looking straight at the front of the guitar with the body set on the floor. And the vertical line on the left represents the 6th string, or the biggest string. And the vertical line on the right represents the 1st string, or the smallest string. That top horizontal line represents the end of the fretboard, which is called the nut. And the other horizontal lines represent the frets. Above the chord diagram, you'll see the name of the chord. In this case, we have a D7. And this D7 is the last chord you're going to learn in this book. We're going to start off with some easier chords. An X above a string means you do not strum that string. So for this D7, you don't play the 6th string, you don't play the 5th string. An O above a string, or a 0, indicates an open string. Open means that you are playing a string, but you're just not putting a finger down on it. And the dots inside the fretboard diagram show you where you're going to place your fingers. And those numbers are your finger numbers. So for a D7 chord, you'll put your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Your 2nd finger will go on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And your 3rd finger will go on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. And you strum the bottom 4 strings because we have that 0 or O above the 4th string in the diagram. As you learn the chords in this book, make sure you are playing on your fingertips, keeping your fingers curved. You want to avoid touching other strings. And for the best tone quality, place your finger close to the fret, but not on top of the fret. Otherwise, you'll get a little clunky sound. And as you learn new chords, try playing 1 string at a time, just to check that each string is ringing clearly. As you play through the exercises and songs in this book, play slowly at first. Your chords will increase in speed over time. You'll also find that as you start playing from one chord to the next, some chords will be similar. They may have a finger in common, or a similar shape, or one finger just has to move a little bit. And we'll talk about those sorts of things as we learn each chord. Those quarter notes, rest, and time signatures are going to make more sense once you start putting them to use, which we're going to do in the next video. So next I'll see you on page 9 with our first 2 chords and your introduction to rhythm charts.